We are live. What's up? What's up, peeps in the group? Are you there? Are you there? Let me know if you can see me. I'm not sure if this thing is working. Had some problems in the group there before with the live Facebook post, but I wanted to see what's going on here. Are you there? Are you guys there? Hello, hello. Can I see you? Can you see me? It's not working. Is this working? Hello, is it working? Is she working? Ah, there we go. We're working. Yes. Okay, good. Something's wrong with the broadcasting thing here. So thank you, guys. I can now finally see you. It is a beautiful, let me just get the lighting here. It is a beautiful Saturday morning here in downtown Vancouver. I'm back home. I just wanted to show the amazing view that you can see right there. You have the mountains, you have the ocean. This is why I love Vancouver. This is probably one of the most beautiful cities that you can live in. And if you've been here, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I wanted to welcome you guys, the new members to the group that who have been who just joined. Really, this is all about people. This group is a community of people dedicated to expanding their lives and realizing that their victim stories are holding them back, and they're ready to transform their perceptions so that they can expand, so that their businesses, their lives, their families, everybody in their circle can be benefiting from their expansion. Really, that's what this is all about. It's about the overcoming the stress of expansion, overcoming the stress, the anxiety, the depression of being a professional, an entrepreneur, being married, going through a transition. Any type of transition brings to it a whole mess of anxiety, and I know I've been living with that in this past few years of expanding myself, listening to that little inner voice within that's saying you're better off doing something better, more expanded, more connected to the real you. And so I've been on this journey and met people from all over the world who have now joined a community of people who are looking to expand who they are. So you might feel that you're stuck in a situation. When I got, you'll find when you're in that expansion, there are days when you're like on top of the world, and then other days when you feel like you can't go on, where you feel stuck in a rut. And so I discovered, I was always curious, firstly for myself, excuse me, growing up with anxiety, depression, that kind of thing. And then seeing the effects of these transformations on my patients, I knew that I wanted to have these little workshops and events to teach them how to expand themselves through their stresses. And so you might be feeling like you're stuck somewhere. You might be feeling like you're not able to you know perform as well as you'd like to, or you're looking around and seeing other people who are you perceive are doing it, and then that's causing you to feel stuck. Now, the first thing that I want to share with you when we talk about this one question that you can ask yourself that's going to turn everything around is, consider that fear is running your life. Consider that you know deep down inherently who you are, what you'd love to be doing. We all know who that is. We all know who that is, the highest versions of ourselves, what we're doing that makes time stand still. Most of us, most human beings, don't give ourselves permission to explore, study, get mentoring, so that that can expand and that can be our way of life. Most of us don't. So we stay stuck, assuming that we have a million lives, a million years, and that we're not going to die someday. Looking back, going, shit, I wish I did this, I wish I did that, I wish, I wish, I wish. 100% of all elderly people look back and they all have the same story. They say, I wish. I wish I didn't care so much about what other people thought. I wish I did what I love to do. I wish I had the courage to speak up. I wish, I wish, I wish. And so this group is dedicated to people who are looking to lean into those fears, looking into transcending them and creating the highest versions of themselves, which in turn will create a healing effect in the body. This is what I've observed dealing with people with chronic illnesses, is that their perceptions and thoughts and stories and delusions that they're holding on to that's keeping them stuck in their victimhood, separating themselves from other people, thinking others are above them, wishing that they had approval, and then you get stuck and you say, I feel depressed, you go to the doctor and you take pills, and this shitty cycle keeps going and going. And this is our medical system, this is our healthcare system. And I was in it for 15 years, and I started getting depressed, and I gave myself permission to step out of this completely crazy medical system, which is all dedicated to the diagnosis and treatment and giving medication and pills and covering up and hiding and pretending and bullshitting. So I considered myself an awakener of truth. First, I had to do that within my own life and start telling the truth about who I am. And so when I started sharing that truth, I felt better, less anxious, more powerful, more in alignment with who I am, leaning into my fears, changing my relationship with my fears. Hey, Jivy, what up, girl? Hey, Amanda. Suman, I think I see you here as well. So what's the one question? What is this one question? This question is very critical for us to get. Consider that every problem you're having is because you're not loving yourself. I want you to really realize that. I discovered when I went through my paralyzing depression after the sale of my practice, and I gave away my practice. It wasn't a sale, I gave it away. I put myself in a position where I gave it away, and this impending feeling of I'm not enough, I'm a failure, just was predominant in my mind. And I was very conscious of it. Most of us have it running like a script as our dark passenger. That's right. I was just playing victim. Absolutely. I was playing victim as well. That's part of it, Kathleen. Absolutely. Playing victim is a symptom of a lack of self-love as well. Because if you truly love yourself, then whatever somebody is saying about you, whatever somebody is doing, doesn't have an ability to change your internal chemistry, because you're so connected with that higher portion of yourself. You don't see someone's negative speech towards you or criticism about you as a reflection of what's already within. Does that make sense? So when you're stuck and you're feeling like you're not moving in the right direction, the one question that you're going to ask yourself that's going to transform everything is, if I genuinely, truly love myself, would I be experiencing this? Sit with that one for a moment. If I genuinely, truly loved myself, would I be experiencing this at this moment? It's such a simple question that I was taught by one of my mentors. But the most incredible thing happens when you look at that question and you really meditate on it. If I truly loved myself, would I be experiencing this? What it forces you to do is it's kind of like darkness is merely an absence of light. And that feeling, that stress, that resentment, that feeling of stuckness is simply a lack of love, of self. And when you ask the question, if I truly loved myself, would I be experiencing this? What it does is it forces you to turn on the light. It actually forces you to go and turn your focus on the action steps you would be taking at the moment if you truly loved yourself. Because the answer, when you're in that stuck place, every single time I've ever asked myself that question, the answer has always been no. I'm in a shitty situation, I'm talking with a client or a potential client, or I'm in a state where I'm not at my best and I'm feeling stuck, and I feel that rage and that anger that's coming up when I feel criticism, whether it's my dad or whatever story that I'm making, playing my frickin' victim role, whether it's your husband. Hey, Maria, what you want to ask is, if I truly loved myself deeply, authentically, would I be experiencing this? The answer will be no if you're in a stuck state, because that's just a symptom that you're not loving yourself. Because the second that you ask that question, it forces you to turn your gaze on something on the action step of what you actually would be doing if the self-love actually existed. It is so fucking powerful that it answers everything, because all of a sudden a stillness happens in your heart, in your mind, and you are now directed towards the new action step that is congruent and aligned with the highest version of you, the powerful version of you. And self-love is the answer to every single problem. So if I truly, deeply loved myself, would I be experiencing this? No, I wouldn't. And the next question is, if I did love myself, what experience would I be having in this moment? Instantaneous adjustment brings you right back into alignment with who you truly are. Now, there are some shifts necessary in order to take inspired action consistently to have transformation. You need to be able to clear resentment. You need to be able to really clear the regrets, constantly beating yourself up. It's this war that we have with our dark passenger when we realize there's no war necessary and there's nothing to fix. Every single consult that I do is geared towards showing that the darkness that you're trying to run away from is actually part of your light. And by stopping running away and embracing and loving all parts, wholeness, not just halfness, wholeness, all of a sudden an amazing transformation happens. You then act with inspiration rather than fear. You speak with power rather than resignation. You all of a sudden get aligned with who you truly are. You feel comfortable in your skin, and it's literally a moment to moment to moment decision that you make in the moment. It's not like, oh my God, it's going to be years of fucking therapy. No, no. The clients that I have worked with usually have had years of counseling and therapy. Let me give you, hey, what's up, Kaveh? What up, brother? If you truly, if you're looking at all of the years of therapy, if you're still talking about the exact same thing with your therapist, your shit is broken. It really is instantaneous, the transformation, because it's a moment-to-moment decision of self-love. If I truly, deeply loved myself, would I be experiencing this? Answer often is no. What up, Suman? Love you, Suman. Miss you. Miss you and got it. So, anyway, has this been helpful? Has this been useful to you? Are there any questions? If you have not yet seen my live training, I did one last week on Thursday. The people who have experienced it and watched that 55-minute, 1-hour live training have experienced huge transformations in their year, reconnected with their purpose, and were able to restore integrity with some of the family and friends that they have been disconnected with, and they're actually taking action steps. So it's super duper powerful. Hey, Suman. Hey, Renee, what up? It is super duper powerful. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm going to leave a link, but it's bepowerfullyaligned.com/replay. You can watch a replay of the live training. bepowerfullyaligned.com/replay. bepowerfullyaligned.com/replay. It's a 55-minute training that will absolutely blow your mind. What up, Eric? Good to see you. And those of you who've watched it, let me know what you thought of it. There's nothing for sale on this training. It is purely a training that is designed to get you realigned if you're feeling stuck and you're going through a transition. If there's a breakup happening, if you're moving, if you're deciding on switching careers, or you're in between, you've started something else and you're just feeling like you need that push, this will help you. It's for people who are wanting to crush transitional anxiety and depression, which is a normal part of expansion. So I've mastered it because I've been in expansion for the past couple of years. Those of you who've been part of my journey, like Suman, like Eric, brother, you were part of a journey. Nikki, you were part of my journey as well. What's up? Welcome. Hopefully you catch the replay and you watch this. But it's this training is very powerful. So I'm going to leave a link there, bepowerfullyaligned.com/replay. Make sure you watch that training. it's blown some people away and kind of been confronting for a few people. Again, there's nothing for sale on it. And it's the 5 critical shifts that you need to make. But I really want you to take this question, this one question, to heart. This question of, you know, if I truly, deeply loved myself, would I be experiencing this? And when you're in a shitty spot, the answer is always going to be no. And the cool part about that is that when you answer that question, space opens up. You'll start to notice a space opening up for an action step that is congruent with the true loving of yourself. And it's all a game of loving ourselves. And if there's parts of you that you aren't loving, send me a private message. Let's have a conversation. I'm leaving a couple spots open for a coaching call to see what's not working for you as far as in terms of self-love. If you have high blood pressure, if you're experiencing symptoms of anxiety, if you're experiencing anything less than putting your feet on the floor in the morning with purpose and kind of enthusiastically moving towards something that scares you, that is scary. You got to be scared a little bit. You got to choose your pain. Otherwise, the anxiety and depression, it falls in. If you're not actively doing and you're not actually keeping to a commitment, you're kind of coasting, and then when you coast, what ends up happening is you start to go on to your next arc, your next kind of downslide in that hero's journey. So I'm committed to answering any questions that you have in this group. Please shoot me a private message if there's something going on that isn't working. I have possibly something that I can share with you that's going to help you along. I'm here to be of assistance. So hopefully this was of use to you, and I will catch you and see you at the next perfect time. Enjoy your weekends, folks.